wanted to do this video basically on rainbow swirlers. This is an issue that I feel like a lot of people do not understand. They call them sometimes fence dwellers, sometimes they call us people who, are ex-swirlers or were failed swirlers. Some people even say that, like, for example, they really want to be with men of other races, but they went with black men, things like that, with rainbow swirlers. And I wanted to talk about that because it's annoying to me, because it's like, I don't think anyone quite understands what a rainbow swirler really is. And I feel like, there's different types of swirling, divesting, things of that nature. There's people who do it because they're angry. They hate black men, they hate black women, and it's all part of that whole scheme of the gender wars. Then there are people who are like, they're just only attracted to men of other races, and in this case, they just happen to be only attracted to other races. But that doesn't negate that people can also be attracted to all races, From my perspective, I've always kind of like found myself somewhere in between these two types. Like, I don't hate black men. It's not my reason for not being into a lot of black men. My thing is just lack of attraction. Now, lack of attraction or interest could be for different reasons. Some people have lack of interest because there's a monetary gain, or maybe there's a class gain, or maybe there's a personality match. There's so many different reasons why someone might find that certain types of black people or certain types of white people are not their interests, basically. I don't feel like that means that they hate black men or they hate white men or anything of that nature, But it kind of gets annoying where, people always talk about rainbow swirlers, and the moment that a rainbow swirler, decides to date someone who is a black man, people start to think they're fake swirlers, tend to think they went back to black men, or, that they are not true to swirling, when it's like they probably have their true intentions and true interests in interracial dating when they were interracially dating. But that doesn't negate them from actually having interest within their race as well. Personally, for me, I've always found that to be the case, but it's just like I said, it's a numbers situation. And if you look at the majority of society does not mirror black men. Personally, for me, I've never found, certain black men attractive, but I do prefer certain black men, And my interest, only has to do with really attraction, and, it does have to do with class and, like, monetary, but not to the same extent as other people. Like, some people, they only want to be with people who make 100 million or 1,000,000 or 100,000. Me, I'm the type that's like, I'm okay with someone who's middle class. I think the reason why is because it's like, for the career that I'm into, it's like pretty much middle class, and I've had nothing against that. Now, I know some people have said, oh, you should look higher than that for economic reasons, but I'm not really going to get into that conversation right now. But for all purposes, right now, I'm saying basically, I'm not into that too much. But still, it's just like, to me, like, most of people's options who are not white are people outside of their race, because majority of society is white. Now, for a black person, we have white people and Hispanic people who outnumber us. So we have two races that outnumber us, not just white people, you know. So that's why, to me, it's just kind of like this whole idea that rainbow swirlers equates to hate towards black men. To me, it's odd. Yes, I am an interracial dater. I date interracially, but that doesn't mean I hate black men. But the reason a lot of the time rainbow swirlers get equated with hating black men, I think, is because a lot of people who are against interracial dating want to associate hate with it, because in reality, these people hate people who interracially date. And so they need a reason to bring up negativity on interracial daters. And if it's someone who is basically, a rainbow swirler who literally, obviously has no issue with dating someone who is of their own race, but also mainly dates people outside of their race, they want to find a reason to talk negatively of these people, because if they don't, they feel like they come off as basically people who are haters, So what ends up happening is, they basically try to bash them and try to come up with something negative about them in order for them to not look so bad about hating them as people who are just trying to find the best partner for them, So that's what I just wanted to talk about. I feel, in part, the people who are against interracial dating, a lot of them like to use those tactics against rainbow swirlers, and it really doesn't work too much, because with rainbow swirlers, we tend to have interest, or at least attraction, to people of many races, In some cases, some people are attracted to all races. Personally, for me, I'm not. I'm attracted to white, Hispanic, mixed, and I fall in between, because some people would say the men I'm attracted to basically look mixed, but I would say some of them actually kind of do look black. So that's it's a gray line, basically. But you get what I'm saying. I'm basically attracted to like a variety of different types of races, some within my own race. But my point is, I'm just saying, like, I feel like a lot of the time people like to make up stuff about divestors and swirlers who are in the rainbow category and try to put them in more of the hateful, or like they're hate black men. But if we really hated black men, why do we date some black men? It would obviously not have to do with being black, now would it? It would not have to do with self-hate, now would it? Because we don't hate the blackness in the men we do prefer that happen to be black or mixed. So to me, that's what I just have to say about rainbow swirlers. It's like people like to make up stuff, but they can't actually deal with the reality of actually opening your options and actually just being a rainbow swirler, if that's what you are. Now, some people aren't attracted to black men, and I would say even with those individuals, obviously, that doesn't mean they hate them just because they're not attracted to you. But that's a whole nother topic. So that's all I'm going to say in this video. Thanks for watching, and bye.